Jack and Beanstalk. Once upon a time, in a peaceful little valley surrounded by green hills, there lived a poor widow and her only son. Jack. Their cottage was small and old, the roof leaked whenever it rained, and their only treasure was a cow named Daisy. Every morning Daisy gave milk, which Jack and his mother sold in the market to buy bread and butter. Jack was cheerful and curious, full of dreams about adventures and castles, but his mother often sighed and said, "Dreams don't fill empty stomachs, Jack." One summer, the land grew dry, the grass turned brown, and Daisy stopped giving milk. The cupboards were empty and Jack's mother was heartbroken. "Jack," she said sadly one morning, "we have no choice. Take Daisy to the market and sell her. Get a good price or we'll have nothing to eat tomorrow." Jack nodded even though his heart was heavy. He hugged Daisy tightly and whispered, "Don't worry, old friend. I'll find you a good home." On his way to the market, Jack met a strange old man wearing a green cloak covered in shiny buttons. He had twinkling eyes and carried a crooked wooden staff. "Good day, young man," said the stranger. "Where are you going with that fine cow?" Jack replied politely, "To the market, sir. She's all we have left." The old man smiled mysteriously. "What if I told you I could give you something far more valuable than all the gold in the kingdom?" Jack looked confused. What could be worth that much? The old man opened his palm, revealing 5 shimmering beans that sparkled with a faint golden light. "These are magic beans," he said. "Plant them tonight, and by morning your destiny will rise to the sky." Jack frowned. "Magic beans? That sounds like a trick." The old man's eyes glowed brighter. "Only those with courage and a pure heart can unlock their power. Do you have courage, Jack?" Jack thought about his mother, their poverty, and the dreams he always had of something greater. "Yes," he said finally. "I have courage." The man smiled, handed him the beans, and took Daisy's rope. "You've made a wise trade, young man. Destiny awaits you." Before Jack could ask another question, the old man disappeared into the forest as if swallowed by the wind. Jack hurried home, excited to tell his mother the good news. "Mother," he cried, "look what I got for Daisy." He opened his hand, showing the 5 glowing beans. His mother stared at him in disbelief. "Magic beans? You foolish boy! You gave away our only cow for these worthless things?" In anger, she grabbed the beans and threw them out the window. "No dinner for you tonight, Jack. Go to bed." Jack lay in bed feeling miserable. He stared out the window, watching the stars. "Maybe the old man lied," he whispered. "Or maybe not." Slowly he drifted into sleep. But when morning came, the world outside his window was no longer the same. Arising from the earth was a gigantic beanstalk stretching high into the clouds. Its leaves shimmered like emeralds, and its vines wound upward farther than the eye could see. Jack's heart raced with wonder. The magic was real, he said softly. Without waiting for breakfast or his mother's permission, he stepped outside and began to climb. Higher and higher he climbed. The wind grew cooler and clouds brushed against his cheeks. He looked down, the ground was far, far below. He climbed until the air turned golden with sunlight, and at last he reached the top. What he saw took his breath away. Spread before him was a land of silver meadows, crystal rivers, and towering mountains. In the distance stood a magnificent castle, its gates glimmering in the sunlight. Jack walked toward it, his heart pounding with curiosity. The castle doors were so tall that he could walk under them without even touching the handle. Everything inside was enormous. The tables, chairs, and even the dishes were bigger than he was. Suddenly he heard heavy footsteps. Boom, boom, boom. The ground shook. Jack quickly hid behind a loaf of bread the size of a barrel. A moment later, a giant woman entered the hall. She looked kind, though her steps shook the floor. My, she said when she spotted him. "A little human. What are you doing here, boy? You must leave at once." "My husband eats humans for breakfast," Jack pleaded. "Please, ma'am." "I'm starving. Could I have something to eat before I go?" The giantess's heart softened. "Poor thing," she said. "All right, but make it quick." She gave him a piece of bread and cheese. But before Jack could finish, the door burst open with a thunderous crash. A giant entered the room. He was terrifying, with eyes like burning coals and a voice that shook the walls. "Fiffer-fo-fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman." He roared. "Nonsense," said his wife. "You must be imagining things," the giant grumbled, but sat down to eat his meal of roasted oxen. After finishing, he pulled out a sack of gold coins and began counting them. His eyes gleamed with greed, and soon he fell asleep, snoring loudly. Jack waited, trembling behind the bread. When the snoring grew louder, he crept out, grabbed a handful of gold coins, and ran for his life. He climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could. His mother screamed with joy when she saw the gold. They were rich. For weeks they lived comfortably, but soon the money ran out. Jack began to think about the castle again. There must be more treasures up there, he thought. His mother begged him not to go. "Jack, please, the giant will catch you." But Jack was determined. "Just one more time, Mother." "I'll be careful." He climbed the beanstalk again and reached the castle. The giantess saw him and sighed. "You again? You'll bring trouble upon us both." "Please, ma'am," Jack said. "I only want to see the giant's treasures once more." Against her better judgment, she let him in and hid him in a large pot. Soon the giant came in, roaring, "Fee-fa-fo-fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman." His wife rolled her eyes. "You said that yesterday too." "You're imagining things again." The giant grumbled, sat down, and ordered his wife to bring his hen. She placed a beautiful brown hen before him. "Lay!" The giant commanded, and the hen laid a golden egg that shone like the sun. "That's my treasure," the giant muttered proudly, then fell asleep. Jack's heart raced. He waited until the giant snored, then took the hen and ran. But the hen suddenly clucked loudly. "Master, master!" The giant woke with a roar and stormed after him. Jack barely made it down the beanstalk, panting. The hen still laid golden eggs, and Jack and his mother lived happily again for a while. But as time passed, Jack began to dream of the old man and the shining beans. In his dream, the man's voice whispered, "You have taken gold and treasure, but your destiny is not complete. One more climb, Jack, one final climb." When Jack woke up, he understood. "This is not greed," he said to himself. "This is destiny." He climbed the beanstalk once more. The castle was quiet, shrouded in mist. The giantess was nowhere to be seen. Jack slipped inside and hid behind a basket. The giant entered carrying a golden harp. The harp was alive. Its strings shimmered, and it played music by itself, singing softly, "Sleep, master, sleep." The sound was so beautiful that even the birds outside fell silent. When the giant's eyes closed, Jack crept out, lifted the harp, and turned to leave. But the harp suddenly cried out, "Master! Master! Someone is stealing me!" The giant roared and leapt to his feet. Jack ran as fast as he could. "Fee-fo-fum! You'll not escape me this time!" shouted the giant, chasing him to the edge of the clouds. Jack scrambled down the beanstalk, the harp still singing in his arms. The clouds swirled and thunder rolled. "Mother!" Jack shouted as he neared the ground. "Bring me the axe!" His mother ran out, terrified. "Jack, what have you done? Hurry!" he yelled. The giant's face appeared through the clouds, his eyes blazing with fury. Jack swung the axe once, twice, 3 times. The beanstalk cracked, shuddered, and fell. The giant tumbled down, crashing to the ground with a mighty roar. The earth trembled, then grew still. Jack and his mother stood in silence. The golden harp in Jack's hands began to play a gentle tune of peace. Jack looked at it and whispered, "It's over." But deep inside he knew this was never truly about treasure. It was about courage, destiny, and the danger of greed. He turned to his mother and said, "I climbed the beanstalk for gold. I found something greater, my courage." The harp's voice echoed softly. "And your destiny has been fulfilled." From that day onward, Jack and his mother used their wealth to help others. They built a school for children, shared their food with the hungry, and taught everyone the lesson they had learned. Whenever Jack looked up at the sky, he remembered the giant, the harp, and the old man's words. Greed had almost destroyed him, but courage had saved him, and destiny had guided him all along. And though the beanstalk was gone, in Jack's heart it still grew tall toward the heavens, whispering the same message over and over again. True courage is not found in chasing gold, but in following your destiny with a pure and grateful heart. Moral of the story teaches us to be brave, wise, and not to let greed control our actions. Thank you for watching my video.